obviously that's where we live, and it's,
Mhm.
constant. But there's Beyond the Overpass in Gander. Citadel House has a venue that they work with in Gander now at the golf um, course, right? The
The
golf club.
Gander Golf Club. Yep.
Yeah. Sorry, yes, golf club. And then there's the arts and culture centers that are always doing things, and then the schools are always doing things. And there's absolutely, when people say there's nothing to do, they're absolutely 100% wrong. There's something to
I'm a
do all
firm
the time.
believer too. I'm a firm believer in purchasing experiences more than I am material things.
That's pretty much it.
Or
Yeah.
because you get the memories and like life experiences. Material things will always go. So I personally feel I get a bigger bang for my buck when I go and see a show or do a thing rather than buying a CD or a book. But I still do that. Like Peter and the Starcatcher on, or I still talk about it and I still think about it, at least on a weekly basis. And that was this spring. And so, yes, I believe that you should go see shows and take in experiences because it's awesome and you'll remember it. And yeah, it completely matters to the artist that you go and see.
Well, if you
Yeah.
enjoyed Peter and the Starcatcher, there's good news for you. Beyond
Oh,
the Overpass, every year they revise their plan of what they're going to do the following year. So
okay.
they've decided that instead of doing these smaller performances, because they have so many students and such a pool of talent, they're going to do a major play in the spring and before
Mhm.
Christmas. So in the spring, I won't be Peter and the Starcatcher, but it'll be a production of that sort of magnitude in June again, and
Awesome.
also in December. That's the plan right now. That's what they're looking at doing, in addition to their summer festival, which will be coming up. And you're going to want to go to that because last year was the first season. Of course, getting the word out was a little, it was, marketing the first season of anything new, right? But during the
Mhm.
summer, they will have the Youth Arts Festival, and again, that will be several productions of, again, the size of Peter and the Starcatcher, like that kind of magnitude of show. Some musical, some just plays, mostly musical though, because they have the ability, they have the talent, and so
Mhm.
yeah, you'll have lots to look forward to coming up.
Hooray.
Yeah. So I
That's
want
awesome.
yeah. So let's do
Mhm.
something. Let's go back. I'm going to talk on one more topic, and then I'm going to leave it to you because this is
Mhm.
your thing. But you did something really cool recently. You went to the Canadian Folk Music Awards.
I did. Okay. So that was the Canadian Folk Music Awards is just what it sounds like. It's a yearly award kind of conference kind of ceremony for folk musicians around Canada. So they kind of the awards travel each year. I was at them in 2016 in Toronto, and this year they were in Calgary. And I was able to go and decided that this would be a good thing because two of our Citadel House artists were nominated for a Canadian Folk Music Award. Two artist groups rather. Earle Coffin were nominated in Young Performer of the Year, as well as Christian House in Young Performer of the Year. So that is really, really cool that they were both nominated and that I was able to go. Yeah, so I spent 4 days, I believe, total in Calgary. It was really cold. I forgot how flat Alberta is and how bright the sun is and how strange the trees are. But it was a familiar kind of. It was familiar to be back. Um, I lived in Edmonton for a year in 2017. So, yeah. But I was able to go there, and they had 2 nights of award and music performances. The first night, who would be a highlight from the first night that I can think of? The Lins. The Lins are a duo that I believe are from Ontario that won 2 Canadian Folk Music Awards throughout the entire weekend, which was really, really awesome. They did a performance, and at one point, Lynn Hansen was standing on the table playing her resonator guitar, and she's like 6'2" and wearing a black leather jacket. It was probably the coolest moment of my entire life to be near her. It was so cool. Yeah, but they were a highlight of performance for that evening. And as well, while I was there, Earle Coffin did win the Canadian Folk Music Award, and I got to accept on their behalf for Young Performers of the Year, which had my heart all excited. And it was really exciting to be there and to accept for them. I got to meet some very cool people and schmooze with some fun crowd, I guess. And the second night, I just have to mention these people because they were fantastic. Actually, several. The Emerging Artists of the Year category, I saw almost everybody play throughout the weekend. They were on different songwriting circles. And on the award gala, Rain Hamilton, who actually won the Emerging Artist of the Year, you should look her up. She's from Manitoba. There was Maddie Leone, who played a song about Vimy and a song about Signal Hill, which was really kind of made me cry a little bit. He was amazing. Jack Pine and the Fires, I believe, was another one. He played the gala ceremony. And then there was two female groups who were nominated who performed together because they've been touring together recently, and they have this amazing chemistry of the trio of them. Two of them are sisters, and they're called the Livers. And another was Annie Sumi, and they combined had the most gorgeous harmonies and stagecraft. It was a beautiful time. I think they held the entire room completely captivated for their performance, which was really nice.
And you were there as a industry professional in this instance, right? You were there to, well, you had people nominated, and
I was representing Citadel House and our artists, and just kind of networking and making friends with these people, which was very, very, it was a good time. I was very, very nervous at the beginning, especially because I got there, I think probably before all of the Canadian Folk Music Awards board was there. I got there, I think, before everybody. And we all were in the same hotel, and I could see them all when they got there, and they had a meal. And I wanted to say hello, but they travel in packs, and they eat in packs, and there was like 12 of them all together. So
it's a little daunting.
I didn't really want to approach that one. It was a bit scary. So I ended up kind of just meeting with them little by little throughout the weekend. Not everybody, but some people who were very, very kind. Yeah. But that was my weekend, and then
it must have been really exciting when Earle Coffin were announced as the winners. To accept that award for them was, well, an honor. I mean, you get to do that, but also an opportunity for you to, accept on their behalf and on behalf of Citadel House, who is their label. That must have been really exciting. How does that feel like to do that?
It was very thrilling. I was sitting with Sandra Sutter, who was nominated in Indigenous Vocalist of the Year, I believe, and then with Jordan Percival from True North Records, and a couple other people were at our table. But I got up. They were very, very supportive and encouraging for the time beforehand because I was very nervous. But they said Earle Coffin and I. There's a video that they took where you could hear me in the background. They said the name, and you could hear me go, "Ooh!" I think I forgot to breathe. So they called them their names, and I get audibly just started breathing again. I got up and high-fived everybody. It was really exciting. And then it's kind of a blur going to the stage, and I was wearing like 4-inch heels, and they still had to lower the mic for me because I was too small. But
you're not you're not that tall.
I am what we say vertically challenged.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And that's wonderful. And just so that everybody's clear, Earle Coffin are a Newfoundland there's a duo, and Joe Coffin and Nick Earle. And Nick Earle I had on the show last week on the 7th, and spoke to him because he's doing a solo album, and we had played one of his songs at the end of that show. And I highly recommend that after you finish listening to this show, go back to the 7th and listen to the interview with Nick. It's absolutely fantastic. It's one of the best interviews that I've done. He is a great interview. He's very thoughtful and funny and entertaining. And then we also play a song from his solo album, just a version of the song from his solo album that I think you will really enjoy. So I recommend.
It's
You can go
making
listen to all our
everyone cry.
podcasts. Please subscribe to our podcasts on whatever platform you want to. We're on Apple and we're on all the platforms that you can find podcasts. So the minute this shares within 24 hours, it's everywhere. And but I do recommend you go because you're doing yourself a favor by listening to that. And I think you have something else to tell us about Earle Coffin before we sign off.
Yeah, so we're gonna throw to a song from the album that they just won a Canadian Folk Music Award for. So the album is A Day in July, and the song is Memories. This album was recorded completely acoustically, exactly like live off the floor on the last day of July, so of 2017. So it was A Day in July.
There you go.
So here's Earle Coffin with Memories. Thanks, Carolyn.
Thank you, and we'll talk to you next week.
Sitting down on my father's old chair, thinking about my younger days. I'm looking out at the still water, memories gone into a distant haze. Digging the garden with my mother, where she'd plant our food to eat. A pitcher of lemonade on the table to keep us cool from the heat. Memories all around me make the tears roll down my cheek. Memories all around me, from my soul I do weep. And high school dances, taking my chances on love at first sight. We're staying out long past the dark, way into the morning light. Memories all around me make the tears roll down my cheek. Memories all around me, from my soul I do weep. I got a wife, got a good job. Got myself a couple